Hey friends, you're here with me, Jenn the Taxidermy Witch, and we're talking about hoodoo in bed. I'm really tired, but yet awake. My body doesn't want to get up and move around and set up for a video and all of that, but I was lying in bed and I was reading this new book that I got from my husband for Yule. And it's very small. It's got so much information in it, and I feel like we should talk about it. I was talking to a girlfriend of mine today about it, and so let's delve in because it's super simple. Right in the beginning, we'll start about the table of contents. Well, I suppose we should read the back of the book first. We always kind of do that. Conjuring roots, root work, and the root. Root doctoring. All names for a folk spirituality with African American roots. Hoodoo was developed from a number of West African spiritual traditions and beliefs. Learn with this book not only the history, but also the beliefs, practices, spirits, and saints surrounding this mystifying faith. There are spells, workings with mojo bags and poppets, and incense. Hoodoo is not a religion, it is a magical system which this book is intended to demystify. Monique Joyner Siedlak is a writer, witch, and warrior. She found out she was a witch when she was 12. That's really cool. And she's residing in Florida. She first realized she was a witch at an early age in life and has been practicing her craft ever since. An avid reader, her favorite genres are horror, science fiction, and fantasy, and paranormal romance. Paranormal romance sounds interesting. While constantly learning about the world unseen. Apparently, she has never been afraid of what goes bump in the night. In addition to writing nonfiction in a variety of genres, she also writes paranormal romance, and science fiction and fantasy. Interesting. And then with her husband, 2 dogs, and 4 cats, she now works part-time for now while traveling and writing. So that's a little bit about Monique, the woman who wrote this book. Let's look into the table of contents. About this book, Chapter 1, What is Hoodoo? And that's on page 1. Chapter 2, Beliefs and Practices, page 5. Chapter 3, The Altar, page 9. So the chapters aren't terribly long, you're seeing. They're, 3 or 4 pages. Chapter 4, Candles and Hoodoo. Chapter 5, Candle Burning, Using the Psalms. For that, you would probably need a Bible because it just tells you the psalm, not like the actual written out thing. So in conjunction with this book, if you want to use Chapter 5, Candle Burning and Using the Psalms, then you would need a Bible. Or a Google search of the written word, I suppose, would work. However, I think that using a Bible is more like a witchcraft practice because you're not like on your phone typing in stuff, you're looking it up in books. To me, it's just a little bit more witchy and traditional. Okay, Chapter 6, Spirits and Saints. Chapter 7, Petition Papers, one of my favorite chapters. Chapter 8, Sweetening Jars. Chapter 9, Hoodoo Spells and Charms. Chapter 10, Kitchen Herbs that can bring in money. Chapter 11, Mojo Bags. Chapter 12, Poppets. Chapter 13, Oils. And then the conclusion. So, let's read about this book. Alright. This book will help you understand the roots of hoodoo. The best thing that it does is not require a lot of time. That's absolutely right. I sat here in my bed and read this book, and it was, a little over an hour. You do not need a lot of intricate plan involving costly tools or years of training. You just have to believe in yourself and that you can obtain your intention. Absolutely. That makes us a magical practitioner when we harness that, right? You do not want to hope it will happen or maybe that it will, but you must actually know it. And that's actually like one of the first things that got me to do effective workings, was just actually knowing that even in the smallest way, this will affect the matter, this will affect the person, this will affect the energy of the universe. You know what I'm saying? In the direction that it's going. You know it deep inside. Many individuals will see this as a simple superstition. Regardless of your belief system, hoodoo involves taking great care in what you think, say, and do. The consequences of your actions will be echoed in the outcome of the spell. If you're dishonest and persistent, you may obtain that which you wanted. But will you keep it? Can you? Or will it be seized away from you as reparation for your actions? Then, on the other hand, if your intent is honest and pure, you may receive that which is desired, and you will gain greatly from it. So plan wisely. Be clear in your intent. Cast with happiness and communicate with your god or goddess. All of those will help you manifest what you need, and in the end, what you want. Great little, little half a page about the book. Wasn't a ton. All right, chapter 1, what is hoodoo? Now, we read about what hoodoo was out of my other book by Star Casas, Old School Conjure, Root Work, Folk Magic, and Hoodoo. And we read a whole chapter, so check out that video on another opinion from another writer about what is hoodoo, okay? So chapter 1, what is hoodoo? Hoodoo is an established magical practice which is believed to be formed in Africa that was deprived of its original spiritual philosophy with Africans who were brought to America as slaves. It arrived in the New World with those who were taken from their native lands, denied their identities and their religion. It has since absorbed some beliefs and practices from other cultures such as Native American spirituality and European ceremonial magic. Now that's right. The hoodoo practitioners and the Native Americans had such similar practices, using the land, using what they had at their hands, not actually going out and purchasing things, but were using what they had, and energy work, actual magic. So they had a lot in common, and they got along really well, and they actually shared things with each other. So I think that that's really cool. The slaves found themselves in a place where they were considered the property by the slaveholders. African and Native American slaves often found themselves working alongside one another, and it is believed that through this mingling, the slaves learned a great deal about the medicinal and magical uses of some of the herbs native to America. As various slave owners associated themselves with Christianity, they wanted to convert their slave workers. And in that time, I do believe it was thought to be the number of people you could get into, your stepway up to heaven. So, man, if you had a load of slaves you made practice, then that could possibly be, your stepway up to heaven, I guess. But it's not. That's forcing someone into religion is not the right thing to do, and it's not the right thing to do with your children. It's not, Lily can do whatever she wants, and I will respect her for whatever she wishes. There are a couple of steps of religion I really hope she doesn't get into, but other than that, I respect her choices. She's a free mind and a free spirit and a free girl. So, remember not to judge your children, as we don't want our parents to judge us as witches, right? Okay. Having the danger of death looming, they were not allowed to practice their religion, which was voodoo, coming from Africa, right? The slaves conveyed their beliefs under the ruse of the predominant religion of their own, of their religion. So they swapped out, St. Peter for Papa Legba, and this for that, and this for that, and they just had these saints as representations. They were not allowed to practice their religion. They conveyed their beliefs under the ruse of the predominant religion. Alright, in the southeast, where individuals were mostly Protestant Christian, the dark man of the crossroads came to be known as the devil of Christianity. In areas where Catholicism was the main religion, or Catholic, such as New Orleans, hoodoo practices blended with not only Catholicism but voodoo as well. So hoodoo is a connection and a combination of Catholicism and voodoo. In New Orleans in particular, or surrounding areas. With this, the Christian saints often became connected with the spirits and deities of voodoo. As an example, the voodoo deity called Damballa, D-A-M-B-A-L-L-A-H, who commonly took the form of a serpent, would represent St. Patrick. St. Patrick is connected with driving the snakes out of Ireland. So they found a little bit of legend about St. Patrick and then found a way to connect it with what they were doing. Kind of like a word association. In the northern states, where African Americans were to a certain degree free, they were also introduced to European immigrants who came to America and sought religious freedom with their own religious and folk magic beliefs and practices with them. With the interactions with these immigrants, and shortly after their writings, it's in that method Hoodoo took in components of their magic and practices. African Americans began to incorporate a few elements of European culture, such as occultism and mysticism. So that's really awesome that they drew that in, because it was such a part of what they were already doing. I'm not surprised that they connected with that, right? With the mobility of blacks from the rural South to more urban areas in the North is characterized by the items used in Hoodoo. Jewish pharmacists opened their shops in the communities, and Jewish pharmacists opened their shops in the black communities and began to offer things both asked for by their black customers as well as things they felt would be of use. The acceptance of occultism and mysticism may be seen with candles in glass jars with colored wax that are often labeled for specific purposes, such as uncrossing and fast luck. Through the African American community finding Christian depictions and prayers, this made it a natural addition to the similar symbolism of Hoodoo, reflecting the Hoodoo conception of Bible as amulet. The book itself proposes to be a protective talisman. With the 6th and 7th books of Moses as a grimoire, interesting, that was made popular with Europeans, is supposedly based on a Jewish Kabbalah, and Thoth Tarot is based on Kabbalah, or directly connects with that, which we've been talking about lately. Containing numerous signs, seals, and passages in Hebrew, they are thought to be related to Moses' power to work miracles. I'm going to pause it really quick and talk about something that I know I'm going to use in a Hoodoo working coming up. My husband, who is a gardener and grows many, many things for me, he has a YouTube channel called Juckshy Farms where he shows people how to grow things, and we do some collaborations on herb videos together and fruit and things. He gave me this miracle berry that, can you see the roots? The roots, and then the tree just didn't work out. It's called a miracle berry tree, and it was a little bush, and there's actually no green foliage. The whole thing is dead. You can see there's dirt connected in the root ball. I mean, this is awesome. This will be fantastic for a Hoodoo working, and the fact that it's called a miracle berry. If you needed a working to do something with miracles, I mean, I can't think of a better way to use that. Moses' power to work miracles. So I'm going to remember when I do this working to kind of look into those 6th and 7th books of Moses and maybe add in the Kabbalah and maybe add some of that into the working. Really excited. This is just so, so cool. I'll show it in one of my color videos. But I'm keeping it over here at my desk, which is my working altar, you know, right there. And I just love that it's nighttime and the moonlight's... That's not the moon, obviously. It's my bedroom light, but the moonlight is coming in a bit on me, and I just love that. Okay. See, Hoodoo in bed. How much more fun can it get? Hoodoo displays the apparent associations to the practices and beliefs of Fonu, F-O-N space N-U, and EWE, E-W-E, mystical traditional ways. The traditional way of voodoo, or voodoo, V-O-D-U-N, voodoo, is a more consistent and broadly dispersed spiritual practice than hoodoo. Voodoo's present system is practiced across West Africa and the nations of Benin, Burkina Faso, and Togo, in addition to others. In the Americas, the worship of the voodoo, Lao, L-O-A, is integrated with the Roman Catholic saints. The voodoo of Louisiana, voodoo of Haiti, and the voodoo, V-U-D-U, of Cuba, Dominican Republic, and Puerto Rico are related to more voodoo than they are to hoodoo. So, telling you the difference between all of those just in a really quick 2 paragraphs. I love that sum up. And the book by Starker Sauce did not say, the difference between voodoo, voodoo, and hoodoo. So I'm really glad that in 2 paragraphs it did say something about that. And that's it. And now we are going to stop the video at 15 minutes and come back for another one, which will be Chapter 2, Beliefs and Practices, where we talk about intention, divination, the divine providence, principle of signatures, vengeful justice, the afterlife. Chapter 3, the hoodoo altar, which is just like 1.5 pages. Chapter 4, candles and hoodoo. And then we'll get on to Chapter 5, candle burning and using the Psalms. And then that will be it for that video. So look forward to coming back for that. Join me, Jenn the Taxidermy Witch, while we do this hoodoo in bed and just chill and talk and relax. If you're not subscribed to me and you enjoy my content, please do subscribe, because I put out videos literally every single day. If I skip a day, the next day I might do 10 videos. Today I got 7 in, and this is video, the next will be video 8. So we just do loads and loads of videos. Make sure you subscribe and then push the little bell so you get notifications. And yeah, like this video if you enjoyed learning and reading with me, Monique Joyner Siedlak. Thanks for joining me, Jenn the Taxidermy Witch, and we'll see you right back. Bye-bye.